Hi guys, my name is Ethan and I'm here today to help you understand if Fusion 360 is for you. Now if you've been following me here on YouTube, you know that I make my videos based around 3D designing using mostly Fusion 360 and Blender 3D. Blender 3D and Fusion 360 are my two software loves in my life, and both offer a very different design experience. If you're looking for software that can generate precise designs and is easy to use, then you've come to the right spot. Let's get started. So how long does it take to learn Fusion 360? In my personal opinion, it takes a minimum of about 6 months to learn the basic fundamentals of Fusion. However, if you were to practice a little bit of it every day, it would probably cut down the time considerably. Fusion is one of the more beginner-friendly packages that you can learn compared to other 3D softwares. To become absolutely proficient in Fusion 360, it can take up to 2 years. But this would be to master all parts of Fusion, like the design, rendering, and the machining operations within the software too. If you are looking to learn Fusion 360 for 3D printing, you will mostly only be interested in the design part and maybe the rendering for posting images to social media. I don't typically use Fusion 360's machining operations within the software because I just export my model as an STL and then put it into a 3D printing slicer like Prusa Slicer. So you will only use the parts that you need and therefore only learn the parts that you do want to learn. So how hard is Fusion to learn? I believe Fusion 360 is easier than most 3D modeling softwares. However, it can be very constrained when you are in the process of 3D modeling. It doesn't have the same freedom and creativity as other 3D packages, and you will have to go through the modeling in correct steps. Otherwise, you will just get warning messages on your screen and it won't compute. So you have to do it in the correct way, and I think that is the biggest learning curve as to what is to do what in the correct process. What tools to use, what type of sketching to use in the correct way so that you get the desired output. You will need to understand the difference between a modeling software like Blender and a CAD-based software like Fusion. Blender offers you ultimate freedom and creativity, but isn't as precise as a CAD-based package, whereas Fusion is the opposite, offering the most amount of accuracy, but you're limited in the freedom and creativity to a point. Or it can be difficult to achieve the same level of creativity in Fusion like you can do in Blender, but you just need a lot more experience to do it. Think of Fusion 360 being used from like a Mjolnir hammer design for Thor or Captain America's shield, where the shapes are simple and easy to design, rather than something like a character modeling in Blender, where you are creating characters with limbs and arms, and you have to design anatomy. So Fusion is much more for hard surface modeling. So is Fusion 360 easy? As I mentioned previously, Fusion 360 has a very good user-friendly interface, which is especially good for beginners. With large drop-down menus, you can clearly and quickly find the tools you are looking for. The menus are split very well, and after a few uses, you'll be very comfortable navigating the sub-menus for further and more exciting tools to use. Fusion 360 is simplistic and streamlined, with a smoother learning curve than other CAD design packages. I've used many different types of 3D modeling softwares in the past, from SolidWorks, AutoCAD, Inventor, Blender now as well, and Fusion 360. And I definitely think that Fusion, for being a CAD-based package, is one of the easiest that a beginner can pick up. The others are a bit more, harder to learn for a beginner because it would require you to have a CAD-based background first. Fusion 360 is technically considered to be a CAD program. You'd be based around the techniques and tools that you use. So you will use the same CAD modeling techniques for starting your design in Fusion, but you will have a lot more options to turn that 2D design into a 3D model. Fusion can be learned by anyone, but it's genuinely easier for someone with some AutoCAD experience. It will take you as a complete beginner a little longer to understand how CAD-based programs work, but I believe once you have a few weeks under your belt, you will be absolutely fine. So you might be wondering, how much does Fusion cost per year? Now, this is at the time of recording. Please bear this in mind if you're watching it in the future. So Fusion 360 has a few different options. It has a monthly, an annual, a 3-year subscription, and an education license. The monthly is $60 a month, the yearly is $4.95, the 3-year is $14.10. And there's usually once or twice a year they have some sales on, so 25% off the modeling software. Now, the education license is slightly different. Students and educators can get a free 1-year educational access to Autodesk products and services. These services are then renewable as long as you remain eligible. So if you are a student, no matter what background you have, if you're a nurse, doctor, engineering, horticulturist, you can get Fusion 360 for free for a year, as long as you are from an educational background. So if you're going to university or going to college, you can get access to Fusion 360 for free. So I'd highly recommend getting it. Is it worth learning Fusion? Modeling with Fusion is easy, simple and fast once you've gone through the first 6 months. It can handle most design projects that you need to complete and offers you a lot in terms of modeling and design. It is an industry standard in design, so it is one of the best 3D softwares to cover your engineering needs. Other 3D packages will be similar to Fusion, so you will have a lot of the basics completed if you need to swap software packages later on. And by this I mean if you learn Fusion 360 for the next 6 months to a year, you will have a very good base and knowledge setup if you need to transfer to another CAD-based design package like Inventor or even SolidWorks. So is Fusion 360 hard to learn? I think not. Like a lot of aspects in life, it is easy to learn but harder to master. Fusion 360 is one of the more beginner-friendly design packages that you can learn compared to other CAD-based programs. As an industry standard in design, it is one of the best 3D software packages you can learn moving forward. I've been using Fusion 360 and other 3D CAD-based packages for the last 15 years. Those packages have helped me to create some of my favorite models, and I hope they will for you too. If you are from an educational background, I would highly recommend going and downloading Fusion 360 and just dabbling in it. Just try modeling some squares with some holes in it, maybe any model at all. Just get started. If you start today, in 6 months you will have a very good portfolio of small projects that you can take forward and start designing something that's a lot more complicated. And with that, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know this is probably shorter than some of my other videos that I posted recently, but I did How Hard Is Blender last week, and it's only right that I do Fusion 360 as well. So yeah, my name's been Ethan, guys. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see some more, please subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you soon.